I'll get along with your dad for you. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're taking a look at Boy Next Door Serenade. Now, typically, I look at a group's dance practice and then proceed to their music video to kind of see the connection. But I was advised when I was reacting to Boy Next Door to take a look at the music video first and then take a look at the dance practice. And so that's what I'm trying. And so far, I've really enjoyed it. It helps me understand the context of a lot of their movement, which I totally appreciate because they do tend to go a lot on the wordplay, and they have a really nice way of adding some interesting syncopations throughout some of their grooves. Definitely on the simpler side, but simple doesn't mean easy. Simple means easy to the eyes. So I'm definitely excited to see what they're gonna do here. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a watch. ABT, they got that in lockdown. That's the Freehand Hotel right there. Do you know how I know that? I've stayed there before. That's crazy. So that means it could be in like one of like 3 locations in the country then. This is on Hollywood. They're in North Hollywood. They make it look a lot cleaner than it actually is, I tell you. That looks like the Ghirardelli right over there. Wow. Every time I stay in LA, I stay like right around here. I think it was in September, I actually stayed there. That's weird. They've been in this place before. Oh! That's very cute. Ooh, cute. That's cute. Ooh, for the you. Woo, fun. Those houses are probably super freaking expensive. I'll get along with your dad for you. Fun. Is she gonna answer? No. Hey! I'm gonna tell you right now, there ain't no way that a dad is gonna let his daughter go. The issue is they all were at the door. Does that make sense? There ain't no way a dad's gonna be like, yes, daughter, you can go with 6 teenage boys to go do whatever. Most dads will not allow that. So it makes, I think this is the appropriate response that needed to happen. Go dad for the win. Man, let's go ahead and take a look at the dance practice. Nice. Fun. This is nice. That was cute. That was cute. Nice. Oh! Nice. I feel like we could have clarified some of the levels on that a little bit more, but I really like this. Cute. Nice. Yep, I would say our feature there was just a tad bit late, but he's probably rhythmically dancing at that point, so that makes sense. They filmed this the same day that they filmed their first one, because they were in the same outfits. You know why? Because I screenshotted those pants because I want to own a pair. And I also saw that Stussy hoodie. Very impressive. You can just tell their stamina is very, very well done. Nice. Ow! Nice. That's fun. I like that choice. I really liked seeing that in the music video. I'm glad I kept that. Kept that in there. I love that. A little bit of angst happening in some of these builds, which I think it works very well with their concept for sure. Like that. Fun. When you have a feature do the same thing as everybody else, they are technically held to the same level of responsibility to make sure they execute it in the proper range, or they need to modify it to where it's obvious that they are singing. Cute. Nice finish, and they're like, you know, that's fun. Honestly, I really like this one. So far, I mean, I really like their first track a lot. Second track, I liked some of the, I think we had, there's a couple of dated types of movements in the choreo. Here, I do like this one. It gives a nice stroll, like if I'm going on a walk. It's just, it feels, put some pep in your step. I think it's a great way to word it. So far, they're doing a pretty good job. I think I would be shocked if Zico is not a part of the production process of these tracks, because it gives that same type of energy and presentation from the production side, at least with the timbre choices, tonal color choices, and which that's technically kind of the same thing, it's interchangeable, but it's different depending on how you approach it, as well as the layer representation. But this definitely, I think this is a really fun collaboration between kind of Zico's production quality and then this boy group's playful energy. I think this is a really, really fun combination that we get to see. Yay for Gen 5. We get to see some really nice refined stuff from them. Okay. So like I mentioned before, they are wearing the exact same thing that they wore in their very first debut one that we saw. And I did hear that these are all connected, these first three in particular. And it makes sense because they did shoot them all, it looks like, in the same vein of the country. I know it's in America. That was in LA through and through. That third video, that's like, because they blurred out Freehand. That's a Freehand hotel. Now, there's a good chance that was probably in the art district of LA. That's what I'm going to call for that in their music video, because I have stayed at that hotel before and I have seen the Urban Outfitters before, but I just couldn't place if it was North Hollywood or in the art district. It's because they're different places. But here, It is nice where they really do a good job of setting the tone of kind of what to expect for the track, which I really like. That even though like the music video is very helpful, you can still kind of get the gist of there are these angsty boys that are trying to serenade a girl, you know, like, and they do a good job in the commitment of the performance in their bodies and in their faces, which is great to see. Having them look around, they're like, hey, I love that. Then have one of them be still, everybody circling around him, really nice, and it feels like they're going into, not quite a column, but having somebody go right behind him and then him branch out to the side. He's the only one that's like kind of moving or being very definite in his movement to the track. Everybody else responds out of it. They do a lot of call and response in this, but they do it in a very different way every time, which really helps. Just make it feels very complete and it feels very thoughtful, like I've kind of mentioned before, which is really nice to see. I love the accents there. Doon, doon, doon. Love that as they hit the syncopation of the percussion in the back. I love that. Do, 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 do. That is if you needed to know what that's called, it's called a MC Rock. And MC Rock is one of these bad boys. It's a transition. The reason why it's called MC Rock is because of MCs back in the heyday, whenever they would rap, hype up the crowd. That's how they would rock, is that they would march. They get MC Rock. I absolutely love the fact that we get to see that. It's a fun transition. Because this is more of a rock genre, I can see the wordplay on that. I love this. Bum, bum. Really love that choice, having everybody drop except for your new feature. Then they do an add-on. Da, 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 da. But this is something I actually have never really seen before in a K-pop dance practice until just now. I want you to notice something. He is lip-syncing the words, but he's our feature. I don't think he's supposed to be featured. This is a habit I see in dancers in studio world a lot, because unless you're doing musical theater, then that's kind of like your controversial topic of do we lip sync, do we not lip sync, whatever. But here, normally, they're very clear on who is supposed to be doing what part. This guy over here, Mr. I Want His Pants, I really think he's supposed to be our feature here because he's the one branching out. This guy right here is supposed to be in the formation, but he's lip syncing the words. So my note for him is don't lip sync the words, especially if this is your own track and that's not your part, because people are going to get very, very confused on who our feature is. I've never seen that before until today. So interesting. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if he was singing. Y'all tell me, you let me know. I don't think he was supposed to be singing there. Anyway, going back from here, we see the traveling down there nice and low, having your one person up as your feature. Great choice. They all march together. Then right here, I love this right here. It goes dee 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 dee, and then they build it up dee dee dee, and then they bring it in, shake and shake. Notice the head was just slightly off from one of our guys. It would be right here, just a little off. They branch away, ding 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 ding. Transition. They all kind of go in their places, and then they kind of branch off into their own thing. That looks totally fine. Now he did a good job. He's the only one that was really activating presence to the camera. Really great choice. That's how I knew he was our feature. And then I believe he's our next one, and he peeks around from him, which is because our eyes are already clocked to him. It makes sense how we can easily see the next feature come into play. And I love that we have these little responses. So instead of doing like choreographic, not a canon, but like a little add-on moments with people, they just do interactions with each other. I love that, and it's a really nice fingerprint that tailors between the three tracks that we've seen, and I like that a lot. For You, I love that, bringing it around the back. Do-do-do, I love that energy there too, super fun. Sliding through that boom, love the energy through this. It's really enjoyable. Da, 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 da. Love this here as he throws it over and he's angsty to one side and they're all building the energy on the other side. Beautiful contrast to see here of levels and of dynamics and mirroring. Gorgeous. And they build it, boom, bring it around, love it. Bring it down, bringing it around. Love that hit with the transition, super fun to see. Love that nice little moment to branch up to the back. Da, 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 throw it to the front. And then they go, ow! Love that registering. I love the fact that we register all the extra sounds in the track. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and it feels communal, just like what I've said. Awesome. Now right here, it's interesting to go boom, boom, boom. Now this was my note. I did notice here, because it goes back to it's not symmetrical from the get-go, because we're operating with an even number and it feels like we have a gap right back here. So we're going to start with that. That is going to factor into what I'm about to say, because they started it when they had these two guys low, and then these two guys are now dropping low, but it feels like he's also supposed to drop low. That really throws off the kind of visual that we're trying to go for here. It just feels a bit muddled and not clear because of the things that I just referenced. So if we're here, we go through 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh gosh, I hate when YouTube does that. Let me go back. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so he's following with this guy over here. What needed to happen is he needed to follow what they were doing and be directly behind the feature. That was going to look way more effective. But to each their own. It still looks fine, but that's why this formation doesn't look quite as clear, is for that exact reason. And that even there on that midline, I don't know if everybody was supposed to be on the midline there, but one of our dancers did seem to go a little bit lower than everybody else, so that would just be my note in general. That like da-da-da, really nice choice having them have their pose. And then angst, love that. And they kind of point over. Points, they're doing a good job with points and where their head goes. Their head looked, we got to see it, and we had a point registering. Hey, look over there, look at that angsty teenager be angsty. Love it. Love how he hops back into the formation, really great choice. They bleed out, boom, and then our next two come out. And I love that, and like that pull in the tone, and they pulled it, and they really helped cater that and made it really match very well with the track. That little you, ooh, I totally understand this, because in the captions, I love the fact that they did this, where it was the you and then the ooh. Super fun. And he goes, oh, cute, cute. Then he had his own moment, da-na-na-na, now we're down. He goes, ooh, 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 and not quite clear on the direction. I don't know if that was supposed to be unison. I'm going to assume no, because not everybody moved the same way, nor the same direction. So, but look, even here, spacing does look, I mean, see that their spacing in general looks fine. The formation just, we have a gap missing, so it's not symmetrical. Honestly, it would, you know what, I have a thought. If they had him be right here. Well, no, you can't really do that, because if you think about it, I mean, you pick the lesser of two evils. You put him out here, you're gonna have a gap here. If you put him here, then you may run into, it's gonna feel a little bit more squished on this side than on this side. I think it's just a risk that you run. I personally feel like, because we've seen it a lot, we've seen this gap open a lot, I would have taken the risk and put him over here. That's just a personal thing though. Don't know why, but the accent there, bringing it through. Love that melt. Do-do-do-do-do. Really enjoy that moment. But notice not everybody's fully committed through the fingers on that. I don't think that was the point, but it does have a little waving inspiration, but I wouldn't even call it a wave. Now, this is what I was talking about, my very front guy. He is a little bit off on his range. He needs to really refine it or use his energy to be in time with everybody else for this part. And you can tell just based on his arm, it's not quite up at the same time as everybody else, but I love the Serenade. It's fun. Sliding it through, yoo-hoo, I love the yoo-hoo. But notice somebody, not everybody was in their spot. My guy right here is not in his spot. So, well, I don't know if he was supposed to be in his spot, but I think that really took away from that moment. So that would be my note for him, is that he needs to register his spot and then get to the spot that he needs to. Or modify or be where he is, have that moment, and then cater, because it just looked like he was off for that. And I'm talking about my back guy. I love this with a little clock. It's slow, and it's the progression of time. He's going faster with his hand, and this one's going a lot slower. Love it. We branch out. Blah, blah, blah. Love that. And I love that. I'm going to go, yep, boom. Love that. I know they're talking about a clock wordplay there, because Shigan is time, right? Yeah. Do-do-do-do. I low-key, because I'm talking so loudly, I low-key just spat on my computer. You didn't see it, but I did. That was gross. So sorry. To me and to you, the fact that I just talked about it. Okay, from this side over here, I love how they threw it, and then they're all looking away to this side. They catch the energy over here. Placement of head. If they didn't do that, they wouldn't have helped guide us to having to look over here to capture this moment. So that was really nice. He threw it and went wee. They all went la, 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 and then we caught it. Really fun to see. Enjoyed that. They look back over. Very enjoyable to see. Boom, little boom. I love how they hit that little bump of energy on the bass. That was fun. Dun, dun. Really nice. Super fun to see. Da, 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 da. Love that when they go whoop, and then they use the head over. Really fun to see that transition. Go here. Da, da, da. I like it. The energy's building up very well. And it's a little different in these little speed changes. It's super fun. It makes it very easy to digest, and it actually creates extra ebb and flow on top of the track that we're hearing. The track can be used very nice and chill, but what they're doing is they're providing a lot of push and pull and heartbeats within the track. And that really helps us be able to enjoy the track even more. Yeah, there I think the range could be just a tad bit refined on the head there, especially with the energy of the torso happening. I think that's just my overall and general note for them. The switch, do-do-do, turning it around. That do-do-do-do, everybody picking their own choice. I feel it was nice where everybody was very obvious in their choice. It really helped us know it's an individual choice everybody's made. Then having our next feature come out, touching the shoe, really nice choice. They're all grooving out. No, but not everybody did the same type of arms with a pull with the back. His was a little bit more muted than, let's say, his was. It was supposed to be a unison choice, though, because if you look, our feature's the only one not doing it. Look. His was just a little bit more subtle. His needed to be just as big because he's next to our feature and next to everybody else that is also going full. So that's my general note there. Pull through, that little boom. Hey, and he goes, ah, very fun. Turning it around. I do appreciate that we chose to have my guys over here and just kind of sacrificing the synchronicity on this side. Not synchronicity, spacing on this side. Because it does feel a little bit different if he was in a little bit more, because you have to look at the spacing. This spacing is way further apart than this spacing is. Goodness. But I didn't mean goodness in like a bad way, but just in... It actually would have helped us not care so much about this space right there. So he needs to move in just a little bit. This is a truly chronic thing for this group. I think in every single track that I've seen of them, we've seen at least 3 to 4 spacing issues, and it has nothing to do with the formation. So I find that so interesting. I've never caught this with any other group before. It could just be I wasn't looking for it, but they are doing a very nice job on so many other facets that I normally touch on, or I say, we gotta fix that. But they're doing a really, really great job in general, though. I love the opening, boom, boom, and then ba-da-da-da, really nice and full in energy. And then they go right back down. Notice, though, I think like we need to refine where this forearm, where this bicep tricep is. That would be really helpful. On the piggyback, really fun. Go to the front. Oh, I think he went a little too early. Not in this section, but in his transition. So look, right here. Da-da-da, this is fine. Then you have this moment he looks in. Now they all look front. Well, I take that back because he needed to move when he did in order for him to get to his spot. So I get it. Never mind. I retract what I said. They all pull. I love the pull back with the piggyback. That was really fun. All having their energy. Da-na-da-na. Yeah. Yoo-hoo. Super cute. It's fun. It's playful, like I've said. Oh, love that with the little jack at the end. And it goes boom here. Now, they actually did this way better in the music video. Right here, it feels a little bit flat. They needed to round it out so it really feels like headphones. And I think they did a fabulous job in the music video of that. So that's just my general note of how he needs to place that in this. The snaps are nice. Notice some of them are just hitting with the accents. Some of them are adding a little elbow to the end. Clarify that. Yeah, our front 2 guys are hitting it with the elbow and our back 2 guys are not. So you can tell who cleaned with who. That's one of your indicators. Dropping it down, I think, what do they do with their heads there? Yeah, boom, down, and I do feel it peeling from back to front. Looks fine. Nice little shampoo, sliding down into a little baby thread. Little angsty usage. Let's talk about a core workout. Love it. And they're like, ah, alas, woe is me. Love it. It's fun. We roll through. Everybody comes up kind of at their own time. That looks totally fine because everybody's committing to their own thing. I really love whatever he did over there. It looked like kind of a little K-stand situation. Running around, baby, baby. You know, I love it. And they're like kind of holding it back. Yeah, but it's a fun little moment right there. Building it through here, they peel out. Really nice choice, but everybody gets to still maintain their individual aspects about the routine, which is nice. Hitting it down a little bit more full. Totally enjoy it. I will say everybody's looking front except for our feature in this guy over here. So I would say he needs to look front as well. And it would help us really clock our feature because he's the only one not looking front. That, oh, really nice. I still think that's a really fun focal point. That melting it down. That was, I mean, I really like the choreo. It just stems from, I really wish We've seen this formation 3 times already, and the reason why I say that is because we have the same issue every single time. It's not symmetrical because they have 6 people. So that's just my general note. If you're gonna use this formation, that's fine. You got to vary it up though, because when I've clocked, okay, we're not symmetrical, then it's going to feel like we have these pockets of spacing issues when it's not really a spacing issue here. There's other parts where it is, but here it's not, but it does give the appearance that it is because of what I've already talked about, which is exactly why a lot of groups debut as odd numbers. You pick it up when I put it down. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. You can do so much with a group of 6. For sure. I work with groups of 6 all the time. I do. But it just goes back to my main point. I really feel that we're not using as many levels to help with placating to this, you know, because that's normally what a lot of groups with even numbers do, is they use a lot of levels, so you can still have somebody behind somebody else, but you can still see them because you have movement that's happening a little bit lower. They do a lot of reveals, and they do a lot of like variants where somebody's up and everybody else is down. Love those, but I think in this type of section of the choreo, with a formation like this, that would be really helpful. I think that's just my little tidbit to whoever choreographs. That would just be really nice to see. Energy here. This is really nice with a pull, but not everybody pulled with the same amount of energy. I feel like if everybody pulled with the chest, then it would have worked really well. I feel like he pulled the least amount, and because he's in the front, you clock it a little bit more than with other people. Then they go to the front, which is nice. Yeah, he just goes boom, boom. That second one looked great. Like everybody, really nice to see that dynamic. It's just that first one, it was really hard to see everybody catch the energy to throw it away in a good way. Yeah, he does feel a little bit more marked, but it's not, I think it's just a movement thing. It's not an incompetence thing. It's just his choice. So that would just be my note. I would tell him, go a little bit more full. That would just be my note. 약속할게. Yeah, about making a promise. Love that. And I love this here. Boom, do-do-do, nice little flower moment. Now it's enclosed here, and they're going to do a nice little finger tutting moment, which is really nice to see. And it looks like a lotus flower. Isn't that cute? He's presenting a lotus flower. So cute. And they turn. It's a really nice rotation. Yep, super fun, but even notice here, it's a little off in the spacing right here. Between these two. I know they're making their own choice, but it's because he's hinged out a little too much and everybody else is laid back. That's why you can see him. Like he's pushing his knees. It's not because of his outfit, trust me. It's mostly everyone's keeping very pedestrian and he's taking a more like fuller approach to the front. That's why he stands out just a little bit. So, but honestly, I really like the choreography. It's really fun for me to be able to look at a group and see there's a really nice concept they have going here. I'm curious what they're going to do next. Are they going to keep with this? Or are they going to completely flip it to something else? And will my notes change because of that? Because normally whenever I see a group at the very beginning, there's chronic things that normally get refined about probably 3 to 4 years down the road. I've just noticed that in general. Totally find it a very natural thing, especially regardless if you've worked with a group of people. I would say XG, they've worked together for like 5 years, and then you have 17. A lot of them worked together before they even debuted. They had a natural sense of really great synchronicity because of the fingerprints or the tone or the posture of their movements that they had in their trainee days really reflected into the choreography that was given to them on their own discography. In ATEEZ's case, you did have a lot of movement that they were doing, but a lot of it didn't feel like it matched the overall artistry of their training. And then when you see them do their own discography, you really got to see that refined over time, especially when they started working with BB Trippin. You saw that transition very, very well. So I would say with this, it does feel like we're working with like a resident, potentially. I could be completely wrong. It's either they are working with somebody like the same like team or the same group of people every time, or it was just the same team of individuals that choreographed all 3 and then we're moving on. I don't quite know, but you can definitely see overlap in a good way. And we didn't really over replicate certain moves or grooves that normally could really date it like we saw in the previous one. And it felt really nice, and it felt very possible to do live. I mean, most are possible to do live, but I just feel like this one has a nice practicality about it to do live, I think is my note. But it's still just as entertaining, which is cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Boy Next Door or other Gen 5 groups, I tend to react to Gen 5 pretty regularly, but I do have marathons that I conduct between Gen 3 and Gen 4 groups because they have a long range of a lot of material that, like I had said in a previous video, I was a Gen 2 fan and then I kind of took a hiatus for myself. And now that I'm an older, like a more refined individual in the realm of being a dance analyst on top of being an educator, I feel that revisiting a lot of kind of the groups that I'd never really been exposed to, but seeing how they started to where they are now, I think it's a really fun and interesting journey that I feel that a lot of people have also enjoyed going on, because so far I've done that with 17, ATs, and XG, but I know XG is a little bit younger, but like two really big heavy hitter, very established groups of ATs and 17. 17 especially, that one was a doozy, but it was really, really fun to do. And then right now, actually at this time I'm doing Dreamcatcher, so I'm looking at both of their groups. And so it's been really, really enjoyable for me to be able to see just the growth of groups over the years and seeing what kind of concepts work for them. So far, this one works for them very well. I don't expect them to deter from this unless they really want to try something a little different just to see how the audience placates it. Not sure, but this was really, really fun. And I definitely look forward to possibly seeing them in the future for sure. Once again, I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.